All right, on this episode of Bowks Talking Bouts, excited to be talking to an individual who's going to be featured at Unified MMA 44, and that happens on May the 6th. It is a 165 clash with Zack Powell getting out there in the cage against Matt Krayco, and happy to be talking to Matt once again. How's your day going so far there, man?
It's good. It's good. Just finished up a good hard session of training and worked obviously through earlier in the day. And yeah, it's good. Just trying to unwind and relax and eat, sleep, repeat, do it again.
Yeah, it seems like you're getting in some great work over at Dynamic MMA there in Calgary.
Yeah, huge. Yeah, camp wise, everything's been really good. Great group of guys. I've had a few. We've had a few other outside guys come in and just trying to help each other all work towards the same goals and stuff like that, right? And obviously, try to simulate as best you can to your opponent and stuff like that. But I mean, at the end of the day, everyone can do anything, right? So, but.
Yeah, and I was seeing that you had the post where it was saying another birthday during another camp. Like, how often has that kind of happened there where those things intersect? You strike me as a guy that is, enjoying getting out there and having fun with the fights, so maybe being in camp isn't, like, the worst thing with the birthday going on, or, like, how's that all work? Like, how many birthdays have we had during fight camps here?
Oh, God. I can't even tell you the number. There's been so many. And same thing, like, Christmas times, you name it, like, It's one of those sacrifices you make to be able to do. Well, I do, to be able to do what I love and enjoy and stuff. And at the end of the day, it's all worth it. And like I said on that post, I wouldn't have it any other way. That's who I am, and that's my happy place and stuff like that. And yeah.
Yeah, for sure, man. And interesting circumstances the last time you got out there to your happy place there. A real short notice turnaround against quite the, rugged individual there. I mean, I think that shows a tremendous level of, temerity to get out there and take on somebody who I think you could make the case for being like the number one pound for pound guy in just the entire country there. And just a real high octane style throughout the fight too, and showed a great deal of skill, even though in the outcome binary it didn't necessarily pan out. Like, what were your overall thoughts on just like the lead into that short notice fight and then just the actual fight itself?
Honestly, one of the craziest kind of like a movie kind of storybook kind of things that just that whole experience was unreal. I definitely have no regrets and happy with everything that happened. A little upset of the outcome and the way I've kind of performed and stuff like that, but yeah, it was crazy. So I was set to face Cole Campbell originally, and obviously he's a more of a strong-based wrestler, jiu-jitsu kind of guy, and obviously trained a little bit more specific for that stuff. And yeah, I was just in my hotel room, just trying to get my head in the game, and like trying to get myself to not amped up, but like get my head in the right place to an hour before the show starts, just to get going. And I was about to go shower, and then I had my coaches come in, and I honestly at that point at first I was scared shitless, because I was like, oh God, I lost my fight. And then they're like, no, calm down, it's okay, it's good news. And then they're like, well, the main event pulled out, so Michael Hill kind of is gone and out, and they need someone to kind of save the day, step up, fight, UFC Fight Pass main event, Unified, a huge show against one of the top strikers around the world, kind of thing, whether it be Muay Thai or MMA. He's a complete athlete all around, right? And they're like, we don't have much time, but he's like, my coach is like, I'm gonna let you and your wife think about it, and he's like, but you gotta figure it out real quick. And they left the room, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, you just drop that on me and then leave, kind of thing. And yeah, it was as hard as, like, I had tears of joy, and like I was like, oh my God, like I hate myself the rest of my life if I don't take this. I'm like, but is this the right thing to do? Like, am I prepared for this? And at the end of the day, I was trained to fight. It didn't matter who it was. And in the same breath, I also felt a little bad for Cole too, because then he'd been missing out on the opportunity of being able to compete that night. And I was all for it. And because that time I was fighting 170, he was fighting 165 for the belt. And so it had to be a 170 fight at just a 3-rounder. And I talked to my coaches and my wife and everyone and my peers around me, and I said, if we're gonna do this, let's do this right. I know the 170 belt's vacant. I was like, let's just do 5 rounds. Even though I was training for 3, I knew my cardio was good and I was in shape. I was like, if we're gonna do this, let's do it right, and have that storybook ending kind of thing. And it was good. I went out there and had a lot of fun, and I know to myself deep down that at the highest level, at the top of the game, that's where I should be. I obviously, for myself, mentally, I was there, but I wasn't fully there. I was still in shock and awe, and I was like, it definitely, the pressure, the moment, like, I was there and I showed up, but it definitely got to me and stuff. I won't lie. It was a little gunshot and stuff like that, and like, not taking anything away from Shane at all. Obviously, he was the man of the night and did his thing. I definitely, I don't ever look past the fight I have, but down the road, I definitely would like to have that fight back again. And to be able to go 5 rounds on an hour's notice, it just, it was good. At the end of the day, it was a good reinsurance for myself, and knowing that, like, I belong there and I was able to hang there. And like I said, even though I wasn't happy of my performance per se, like, I still had a good outing. It just, I know I can do way better than that. And it's good. It keeps me positive, keeps me motivated, keeps me keeps my head forward, and I want more.
Yeah, I totally get what you're saying. I feel like fighting a guy like Zack Powell would serve you well in as far as, like, getting closer to, like, that sort of championship opportunity again.
I kick up for whatever comes. I obviously want to have belts. I want to fight in the top promotions. And obviously, fighting on Unified and UFC Fight Pass, that is, like, pretty high up promotion, like, best around. But obviously, one day I'd like to see. I want to go further, and I'm just right now. All the years I've put into all this, things are going for full circle, and I want to take it as far as I can. And I was very grateful for the opportunity, and I was happy that I was able to save the day and do all that. And it was also hard to, like, I didn't mention it, but, like, felt good. I had to shower, went down, I was like, okay, we're doing this, and I was like, mindset, I was like, good, and I was ready to go. And just getting in there and then seeing my face all over, like, headlining, I was like, holy shit, like, they changed all that so fast. Like, it was really good of production. And then everyone coming up to me like, oh man, like, you're crazy, like, oh, you got some big balls, like, what are you doing, like, props to you. And, like, it got overwhelming. It was like, listen, like, I know what I'm doing, like, and I appreciate this from everyone, but, like, it was so overwhelming. I was like, should I not be doing this right now? Like, right? So, like, and that's the thing, like, fighting, the biggest thing of it all, like, no matter how skilled or in shape you are or anything like that, majority of it, it all comes, huge comes down to that mental aspect of the game, right? And, I definitely I got to myself on that. But, like, you live, you learn. You take what you want from it, and you build back on it. And with this fight, I know I got a tough rising prospect in front of me that keeps being shoved in my face like crazy. And I don't know. I feel like I'm being overlooked on this fight again, and I mean, it is what it is. I love to be the underdog and try to put overcome all that. And I just, at the end of the day, do my work. And I think there's going to be a lot of upset people that night. There's definitely, Cam's been really good on this. I definitely respect him all around, everything that he brings with his striking, wrestling, his jits. Like, I definitely respect him, but I just, right now, I'm in such a good place. I had such a great camp, and the last few weeks, I've just been dying and itching to go just because everything has been on point. I've worked so hard for this, and I'm happy. My head's right. I'm in a very, very good place, and I can't wait to go.
Yeah, that's curious. You say you think you're being overlooked in this one. Is that just like anecdotal, like comments you've seen online, or like where's that perception coming from?
Like I said, I could care less about it, and it is what it is. But I guess what's the saying? The curiosity killed the cat. Like I still look around and stuff like that and see what people are saying about it and their looks on things. And I get it. The kid theoretically should be 6-0 and definitely a top rising prospect. I don't know, I've been around this game for a long time, and it's definitely hard for me to come by fights and stuff, so I respect and appreciate having the opportunity. And like I said, for this thing I'm doing is looking over past him. I really like the matchup, and probably getting shit for saying this, but there's levels to this stuff, and if everything of what I'm showing in camp and been putting in through all the years comes out and I actually show up, and I will show up, it's gonna be a rude awakening for him.
And just with this one being at super lightweight, as I was talking about before, it seems like Unified MMA is really doing great work with establishing that weight class and trying to promote it more and stuff like that, like Eagle FC and BTC or some other promotions that do great stuff like that. What are your thoughts on the super lightweight division and that effort to make it that broader kind of established weight category in the sport?
No, I actually really do appreciate it, and it's crazy. You go from light heavyweight to middleweight, you got 20-pound gap there. That's a big gap. You go from middleweight to welterweight, that's a 15-pound gap. That's pretty big. And then you got welterweight to lightweight, that's another 15 pounds. So I don't know. I know I'm a small 170er, and had guys come in that I've fought against that cutting a lot of weight, coming down from high weight cuts, and so they're able to put on a lot of size. But obviously, when it gets deeper in the fight, it's a lot harder on them. But it's crazy that little extra 5 pounds for some guys to cut, it prevents the guys cutting from 200 pounds to get down there and stuff like that. And it feels like a comfortable, good weight class for me. I did obviously fight a few fights at 155 and stuff like that, and I felt good and it felt great there. Definitely felt a little too small, but naturally, this 175, I'm camp wise, just with my strength and conditioning and nutritionist coach, I feel great. It's an easy cut for me, and which helps me because I'm able to focus on training itself, but at the same time I don't have to worry about big muscle powerhouses coming down from huge weights, and even if they are, I still feel strong and good at this weight. And I hope it goes far and stuff. I really do. I mean, I don't think you'll ever see it in the main promotion, obviously, UFC and stuff like that, but yeah, like you said, Eagle FC and Unified and all these other promotions doing these, it's a lot better. Because it's crazy, too, if you look at boxing, even Muay Thai, there's weight classes every, 3 to 5 pounds, right? It's, it's nuts. And I do think if you have more spread out weight classes, I mean, it's inevitable guys are going to still cut crazy amounts of weight, but it will make it more realistic. The guys actually more cutting a little less and coming in healthy and proper, right?
Yeah, I feel the same way. I don't know why there can't be even the 15-pound increments in different weight classes. I also think there could be a 195-pound weight division too, just for that in between middleweight and light heavyweight there. But
what Unified's doing, it's crazy. Is when you get down to the smaller weights, the 45s, and you go 35, 25, it goes by every 10. Then why don't make that go all the way up, right? But it is what it is. I obviously take this fight and assess and go from there. And I mean, you never know if the right fight comes at 170, it might go back up, or if the right fight comes down to 55, I'll cut down kind of thing, and just taking everything as it comes. And at the end of the day, as long as I'm feeling healthy and feeling good, that's all that matters, right?
Oh yeah, health is paramount, and definitely good to have those options for sure. But one of the last things I wanted to touch on here, like I mentioned, the camp is centric to Calgary. Also, the show being out there in Calgary, like one of the first big unified forays out there. Like, what's the temperature on that and the excitement level getting to fight in front of the Calgary faithful there?
Oh, it's big. Obviously, the event's just outside of Calgary, which is on Tessina. In Tessina. It's no different than like the River Cree to Edmonton kind of thing.
Yeah, Enoch, yeah.
But out here in Calgary, though, we haven't had any pro events for, I don't know, like 5-6 years. Like, it's, I know there's a little, like, I know commission-wise and money things and stuff like that, it makes it very difficult and hard for people, event or promoters to have events here. And, Calgary's been dying and itching to have something. And now that we finally have something that, everyone's definitely buzzing and wanting to go watch and see. And then, I mean, on top of it, you throw in COVID, where for the last 2 years, everyone's been locked down, can't go. You can't even, like, you know, there's been like no even going to hockey games, concerts, whatever. So like there's an extra amount of excitement, and I mean, it's crazy. I'm happy to fight back home. It's been I fought on a fight night way back. I don't even know the days. But yeah, that was the last time I fought here, and I'm happy. I'm excited for those that aren't able to travel and stuff to come see me, to be able to come see. I mean, at the end of the day, though, like, yeah, I'll thrive and be happy for that and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it's just mono, and you know, it's crazy. I still one of those type of guys that I wish that like I could have fought during COVID with no one in the stands, kind of thing, and just, you know. But at the same time, like, it's very easy, you know, you get that tunnel vision and stuff, and you kind of block everyone out. But yeah, I'll definitely be feeding and feeling off that crowd, and, you know, give me that extra motivation and strength to push through to have an even better outing and showing and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, for sure. It looks like it's
like from top to bottom. This card, I forget the exact amount, but I think there's like 16 to 18 fights or something like that, including the amateurs. And like that's a lot. And there's so many locals on the card as well that it's going to be packed and full. And yeah, hopefully to be knowing it's going to be a fun, exciting night. And yeah, can't wait for it.
Yeah, and that's a cool thing about Unified too, like the fact that it has like some of the highest level professionals in the country, and then you also get like the amateur guys who are just getting out there to cut their teeth. I imagine that's like huge for them and just growing their skills under the bright lights and all that.
100%. And that's the thing, like, I mean, not saying I'm that old, but like I look back to me starting out as an amateur, and like it was hard to find people, but now that it's such a big sport and there's bigger promotions and things like that, able to like give these amateurs and all different levels chances and things to, you know, like you said, jump in and then get their experience and be a part of a big show, and that's the thing. Like, Unified is a big deal. They have a great production. They have a great group of guys to work with, and like nothing but great things to say about them. And yeah, I mean, UFC Fight Pass is huge. It's big.
Yeah, no doubt. A lot of cool facets attached to the show, and you love to see it. But you've been really great with your time, man, and I want to be mindful of your busy schedule. So to that point, is there maybe anything you'd like to kind of add as a parting thought as we're wrapping up here?
Ooh. I'm bad for that. If you ask me a question, I'll answer it, but at the same time, I'm bad for rambling on. No, I appreciate you taking time, and, you know, it's nice to be able to, you know, for the level that I've made it to and stuff like that, to have the opportunity to even be wanting to be listened to or heard. It's you know, it's such a blessing, and I'm so grateful for it. And yeah, this camp, I've, you know, we all have ups and downs in life, and how you take them and strive from them and stuff. And like I'm happy. I'm in my happy place. This is where I want to be, and I wouldn't have it any other way. And like I said, I've had such a great camp, and yeah, despite all wins, losses, whatever it is, what do you take from it, and how you grow and how you build. And the older I get, the more I've learned, the more I've built on myself, and it just keeps getting better and better. And like that's a scary thing for whoever's standing across from me. And the other thing too is never fully training specific to just one opponent, because you never know what an opponent can bring, and you never know what will happen last second to maybe having someone else. It's that was a nice thing with this fight coming up. I mean, I think we got it about like 6 weeks, 8 weeks. I'm not exactly sure about the timing on here, but it's not get ready, it's be ready, and that's the biggest thing since that fight. I took a little time off, just life, what have you, and but I was still in the gym. I was still doing my thing, and training, working hard in the dark so I can shine the light, kind of thing, So
yeah, and those.
And obviously, huge shout out to everyone that supported me and around me, family, friends, my team at Dynamic. My wife, my biggest support system. It just it's crazy. I need to be pinched. Everything's going too good.
Yes.
Definitely prepared for the worst, but expecting the best, kind of thing. And it's going back to the birthday thing. It's one of those things like putting yourself through hell, so that way when the time comes, there's no shock or surprises or anything like that. And that's why I love it, and I'll love it for the rest of my life. And that's what keeps me striving.
Yeah, definitely, man. The passion really comes through, and it'll be really cool to see you express that art when you're out there in the cage at Unified MMA 44, which people can check out via UFC Fight Pass if they're not in the immediate Alberta area there on May 6th. Then just looking forward to seeing this fight with Zack Powell here, man.
If you're in Calgary, go to Show Pass, get your tickets, use the fighter promo code Krayco 10, come support your local fighters. We don't make that crazy amount of money, but every little bit helps. And that's the biggest thing, is fighting on Unified here at home. I'm very happy, and that I think it's pushed me more through this camp, is that like at least my peers and those who support me and sponsors and so on and so forth all finally have the opportunity to come watch live, and that excites me and made me definitely work my ass off a lot harder for this event. So sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, but
No, not at all. That's a great thought to end things off on. Definitely want to see the fighters getting some coin out of it, and you want to see people there at the live show having a fun time, especially with the
at the end of the day, for myself, that's a big thing I strive for. It's it's not about the money. It's as Tyson Fury just said, it's about punching motherfuckers in the face.
And we will be getting that in May early there. And just again to reiterate, thanks so much for coming on the show, Matt. You enjoyed the rest of your night, and looking forward to peeping the fight.
Thank you. You as well.